All right. Oh my God! Why do I do this as soon as I wake up? I like I like to be mean to myself. I like torture. You would think so, wouldn't you? Okay. So what we are doing now? What are we doing now? Well, we're breaking our game. Yeah, you gotta break it to fix it. Okay, so basically what I'm doing now is I'm adding two new types of tiles. The arrow tile and the star tile to my minigame. The star tile will give you 10 points for picking a star up, and the arrow will cause you to run across the map in a straight line until you hit a wall. Okay, so the issue is that the way I've generated the level generator at the moment is I have column states, right? Column state 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. White means path tile, yellow means wall tile. So the issue that I'm having is I have to separately mark the star tiles and separately map them, and I haven't gotten to the arrows yet. Okay, so let me just play. I know last time I checked it wasn't working. Let's just see where we're at. I couldn't sleep last night, so I was doing a little bit of this between 4 and 5 a.m. because I'm crazy. And I kind of broke it, and I actually got a little bit scared, so I backed the project up. Okay, so we have no stars. Why can we hear her? We're not supposed to be able to hear her. We're not supposed to be able to hear her though. Just turn some music on. Yeah, why can we hear her? Didn't I mute her? Oh, she's not completely muted, that's why. That music wants to be quiet. Is that music quiet? Not quiet enough. Okay, so no stars, so that's the first problem. I think what happens is as we move, there we go. As we move, the stars are appearing, but then oh, it's not doing it now. Okay, interesting. Okay, it was wiping. It was generating more stars every time you move. Now it's not. Okay, so for some reason the stars aren't appearing at the start of the map. They only appear. Can I now go over a star? When I last tried to go over a star, it gave me it gives me an index reference exception. So let's take a look at this. What is the issue here? Okay, so basically the way I'm setting this up is I've modified my cell structure. So now we make a note of our star texture and our boost texture, which is our arrow. And instead of using the states, which I was originally doing, but then I realized that that kind of interferes with this thing. Instead of well, kind of. Anyway, long story short, I changed it so that we have an integer now for star index, because I need to basically map which index the star lives in, right? Which tile the star lives in. Well, which index from star index? It's a whole thing. And then I'm going to use boost distance greater than 0 to indicate that it's a boost tile, and this distance will tell the system how far the cat's going to run if they pick up a boost. So it seems like our logic is upset with this line here. So we're saying, okay, if player cell at star index is greater than -1, so it must be when we hit a tile. Yes, it was. Then we increment player score by 10. We say from the stars. Cell star index. Yeah, interesting. Okay, it's saying stars remove at player cell, whatever the star index is. This should be correct. So that would suggest that star index isn't tracking the star indexes properly. So what I'm going to do is make my star index. Where is that? There it is. And make this public so I can see it. Also, we're not seeing them on instantiation, which is kind of strange, on level generation. Let's find out what's going on. Let's find out what's going on. Okay, so we have 7 star indexes, right? So apparently, and a -1 at the end, we have to do that to avoid an error. So apparently we've got 6 stars essentially, right? Because that last one isn't a real one. And the first star is in cell 1 if we iterate, which should be right in front of me, right? If we iterate through these cells, it's basically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll go all the way to 29. No, it won't be 29, it will be 89. So apparently we've got one in position 1, position 26, position 32, 43, 59, and 70. We're not seeing them. Okay, well that's odd. Now maybe it's drawing them and something's wiping them out again. Let's have a look. So this is add stars. If we're on a new stage, right, if this is a new stage, as in a newly loaded level, and it's the first time we're updating the level, then we want to generate the star index. So we clear it out from previous, we iterate through every grid cell, and then we ask, is the grid cell a 0 tile, right? Meaning, is it a path tile? Is it an eligible tile for a star, basically? Then we basically roll a dice between 1 and 10, and if it lands on 5, we make it a star. So we set the... Oh, okay, this is where we went wrong. Okay, this is where we went wrong. No, this is wrong as well. Okay, so the star... Okay, the star index is actually star index. Yeah, this is slightly awkward. Okay, I think the best way to do this is to do cell index star index equals 0, and then get rid of that. And then this one is cell index, this one is star index, and then cell index increment. Why is it doing that? Cell index, and we only increment star index as we add a star, so that would be star index plus plus. Then here we can just reset those to 0. Right. Okay, that should be why it wasn't working. Okay, let's play it. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Right, we should have one at 7, one at 17, and one at 54. What the fuck is happening? This is really starting to piss me off, to be honest. If star chance rolls a 5, then get cell, which is the cell class on the cell itself. We set the star index to star index, which is correct. We increment star index as we add a star. That could also say stars dot count -1. That might be better actually. It's fine, I'll leave it as it is. Stars dot count -1. Then we set new stars to false. New stage to false. Then we reset cell index to 0 and star index to 0, whether it's a new stage or not. And for each cell in the grid, if cell index is the same as if we land on the cell that's in star index basically, then we go and get the cell component maze cell. We say get cell star index is stars at star index yeah, so we're doing that twice then. If the player lands on a star cell, we increment the star by 10. The score by 10. We remove wherever the star index came from the player's cell. Although at this point, wouldn't the cell already be overridden as the player's cell? I wish I hadn't built it this way now. Now it's not even showing the stars when we move. What the fuck is happening? We have 7 stars at positions 9, 27, 44, 52, 54, 74. And this is where we override the cell type. So yeah, this is where we place the player. So to be fair, right, I think I know why. It's because we don't... Okay, I know why. It's because the cell type doesn't change, so it doesn't trigger an update cell. That's why. Okay, I know what to do. Okay, I think that's why it's not working. Because we didn't have a way, because we told our cell to update its appearance if the state changes. The problem with this new thing is the state doesn't change anymore because I changed it to like a cell index, because I needed to know which star it was and where it came from. So I needed a way to say, okay, yeah, now we've got our stars. So let's make sure this is working. Okay, so we've got our stars. Up. Right. So what should happen, our score should go to 16 because we should get 1 point for moving right, and because we picked up a star we should get an additional 10 points. So our score should go to 16. Okay, that didn't work. It also didn't. Okay, it did when we moved off the star. What? Okay, because this is basically as we move, right? So this is on the frame that we reposition the player on. Get player position. So maze cell, player cell is grid transform. Get player position. If player cell dot star index is greater than -1, player score is player score plus 10. Stars, remove out player cell star index. Player cell, set player cell star index to -1, which means this cell does not have a star on it. But it seems to be doing it when... that's really weird. And then if we go backwards, which there's no reason why anyone would go backwards, but when we go backwards, that causes an out of range exception. Probably because the star's already gone. Okay, let me just see that again. That's weird. Because it should... in my mind, it should have done it as we landed on that tile, not as we moved off the tile. That's the bit that's confusing me. Oh, we only got 1 star. Let's generate a new maze. Okay, that's a better one. We've got more stars now. Right, let's go get this one. So if we move right, our score goes to 1. If we move down, our score should go to... what is it I said for a star? 5 or 10? I think it was 10, wasn't it? Yeah, 10 for... so it should go to 12. Okay, we actually got an out of range exception. So we said stars remove at player cell star index. So let's take a look at player cell star index. So this would have been... that would have been B1. That would have been B2. This would be C3. So C3 should have a star index of 0. And it doesn't. C3 has a star index of -1. But maybe it's because as far as the code's concerned, we already picked it up. So let's check the next one. Okay, the next one is in row A. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A9. So A9 should have a... well, it should have a star index. Yeah, it has a star index of 8. So that's correct. That part's working. No, that part's not working. Okay, something's wrong with star index. So when we set star index, what are we actually setting? I think we're setting the value in star index, which is not what we want. No, we shouldn't. No, we're not setting the value in star index though. We're setting star index, which is the star index, because we only increment it every time we add a star. So how the fuck did that become 8 then? I don't get it. How did that become 8? So it was A9, wasn't it? Yeah, A9's got a star index of 8. I think somehow it's managed to get the value from index 0, because that would be the first star. But that's not what our code says, because that's not what we want. We set the star index to star index. Star index should be 0 on the first star, 1 on the second star, 2 on the third, and so on and so forth. Because we only increment star index as we add a star. We set star index to 0 up here and 0 down here. So where the hell did it get 8 from? Is there somewhere else where star index is being... I don't see a problem with the code there. Am I doing it somewhere else? Get cell star index. This is when we draw the stars. We get cell star index, and then we go and get the value from stars at star index. Because, well, the value... Get cell star index equals star... Ah, there, that's where it's happening. Yeah, that's not right. Okay, why the fuck would we do that? For this one, we don't actually want to... We don't want to move that at all. So what do we actually want to do? Yeah, okay, I think the reason I was trying to do that is I was trying to let the thing know to update the stars. Yeah, okay, so basically this just wants to be star index. That's where it's happening. Okay, that's where it's happening. There we go. Okay, so our score should go up by 10, so it should go to 17. Okay, it does it. Okay, it picked up the star, so that we're getting a step further, but it's picking it up once. The score is incrementing 1 square too late. The score should implement as we land on the tile, not when we move off from the tile. So I must be misunderstanding something about player position then. This is really awkward, because if the query we need to do is actually on the cell that we just moved off from, if the player position is on the cell that we just moved off from to figure out whether the score is supposed to go up, we don't know which direction we came from. There is one way to fix that, and that is to start a temporary maze object, which is like previous. So what we could do is we could just do a private cell maze cell, previous cell, and then basically and then here we could say if previous cell, has a star index greater than 1, then -1. And just to make sure we don't get a null reference, we'll say previous cell is not null as well. Just to avoid any null references on that. Okay, that should fix that then. I'm kind of confused about why that's happening now, because I thought the score went up as you made the move forward, right? So then shouldn't it do it as you land on the tile? Shouldn't that be when we're landing on a tile, not when we're moving off from a tile? I don't know, that's really weird. Okay, we got a null reference. I said in previous cell is not null. Oh, you fucking son of a penis. I might have to put that in a try catch. Fucking piece of shit. I did say previous cell not null, but I guess the query itself is a null reference though, right? It's like saying it's like asking if your next door neighbor looks like Elvis Presley, and you've never seen your next door neighbor, so how would you know? Because you don't know what they look like. Right, okay. Okay, down. Right, right. So as we go up, the score should go up. Oh my god, you fucking kidding me? Why won't this work? Okay, interestingly enough, it went right. Oh my god, what is happening? It's not even picking it up now. Okay, so it worked better. I am so confused. It worked better before the previous cell. Let's just undo all that previous cell, because I'm sure that's not correct. But it's just weird. Oh, you know what it might be? No, I think I know what it is. I know what it is. It is working as intended. What it is we're not updating the text component. That's why. We're not updating the text component in time. So it is updating the score, but we don't see it until... And this doesn't want to say this anymore. So it basically just looked like it wasn't working. Okay, so basically what we need to do is just say txt score.text equals, and then we need to update the score. We could do that as an update, because at the moment we update the score. Okay, we'll just move that. That's better. Yeah, that would make more sense, wouldn't it? Just move it. Just put it at the bottom, because the score can now be affected before, like after the move is made, basically. That's why. So now we can just update the score at the bottom instead, and that'll fix it. Yeah, because I think it wasn't broken. It just looked like it was broken. Because I was like, well, wait, why is the score not being racked up until after, like the tile after we picked it up on? But it was. It's just that we weren't updating the text component at the right time. So that's why it looked like it wasn't working. So now it should beep. There we go. And it's picking the, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, that was a bad example because we only got 1 star in that level. There we go. Let's just get down. There we go. Now we can pick up the stars and we're getting the points at the right time as well. I mean, we were before, it's just we weren't seeing that we were, basically. Okay, so now it's working perfectly. We have stars. We need to make sure it works across the second level. I'm not sure if it will work across the second level. It should do. Okay, we got more stars. Yep, we picked it up. Perfect. Yep, that works perfectly. Okay, so we can now pick up stars to rack up more points. Okay, the next thing I want to do... This one's a little bit trickier. So this will be fun. Okay, so basically... Not sure what the number of tiles should be. The next thing I want to do... Maybe I make it... I think it's going to need to be 5 tiles. This one is going to be a little bit tricky, actually. Good lord. Let me just run the thing. What I need to do to get this next bit to work... Okay, as we generate a maze, we're going to get these straight lines, right, that you could run along. And yeah, I think 5 should do it. Well, that's 6. Yeah, 5 will do it. 5 will do it. So, okay, what I'm going to need to do is scan the map row by row and basically find any section that has a straight line. God, this is going to be really fucking complicated. Find any section that has a straight line like this that you can run across and then basically stick a boost arrow in it. But it's probably going to be like it's going to be like a heads or tails coin flip, I think. There's a 1 in 2 chance of getting a boost arrow on that line, basically. And then we also need to index these lines. Okay, we need to index these lines to say how long the line is, so that then whichever tile we place it on. So as an example, right, let's say this is the perfect line to put one on. Let's say we want to put one of these boost arrows on this line here. A few things we need to do. We need to remember where the line is. We need to know which tile we put the arrow on. We need to tell... Really, we should put it on the leftmost tile, or shouldn't we? Yeah, we want to put it on the... Actually, yeah, that's true. Oh, that makes things a little bit easier, actually. Okay, so we want to put it on the leftmost tile. So, for example, I'll probably want to put one here, right? And then that will want to move us till we hit the next wall. It's going to shoot us along to the next wall. We need to remember where the arrow is, which tile it's on, tell that tile how long to run for, right? And we need to do that each time we generate a map, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it should make the game much better to play, because at the moment, so I'm going to make it so that you can do strings of commands like this, right? Because I think this game will be too tedious to play on Twitch if we don't do this. So instead of like send a single command for right and a single command for up and a single command for right and a single command for up and a single command for right and a single command for right, no one's going to play that. It's going to be tedious as fuck. But if you can type exclamation mark right, 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 up, right, 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 and it just goes right, 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 up, and it just does whatever you told it to, right, in sequence. I think the game will be much better to play. Also, the boost arrows are going to help with that, right? So as soon as you hit a boost arrow, it's just going to run itself till the end, right? To the end of a wall. I think that will make the game. And now we have, what's nice about that, right, is now we have a reason to go back as well, right? Because if the player, if you think about it, it really transforms this game, I think. Because let's say we put a right arrow here, right? Then our cat's going to run all the way to this wall here. And then you as a player can be like, oh, wait a minute, there's 2 stars there. That's fucking 20 points, you know what I mean? So let me just quickly add that to my string of commands, right? Let me go left, left, right, up. And by just typing LLRU, you can get 20 extra points, right? Because you, I just realized though, there is an issue with this game. Shit, I just realized there's something else I need to fix. You could cheat in this game, actually, because I just realized at the moment you get a score for moving right. We got 10 for that star as well. The problem is, if you just move left and right, if you just move left and right, you can actually just make your score go up without actually making any progress. So I actually need to fix that. So we need to change the way score works, because at the moment it literally just adds you a point if you successfully move right. But it doesn't take into account the fact that if you move left... I suppose the easy way to fix that is if you move left... Yeah, that's the easy way to fix it, actually. Yeah, moving left should reduce your score by 1. Because then that way it'll just all add up again, right? You can't just go left and right, left and right, left and right, and rack up your score like that. Actually, let's do that now then before I forget, because that's easy to do. So a successful move left should reduce your score by 1. That just fixes that and stops that from being a way you can cheat. There we go, that should fix that. We can test it real quick. Now it just means that you can't cheat and just move left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and just get infinite number of points that way. Whoa, that was lucky as hell. Right, so before that would have... Is that where we were before? 40. Yeah, so I can't make my score go past 40. What's weird is it doesn't actually go down when you first do it, which is kind of weird. Okay, yeah, I think that only went up. Let me just make sure this is working properly. So at 52, this should be 53 no matter what I do. Yeah, no, it's working. Okay. Yeah, okay, so scanning rows is actually a little bit tricky because of the way I've set this up. Because if we iterate through, if we do a for each transform, right, and we iterate through the transforms, we're basically running through, oh yeah, I suppose that's easy enough. We're basically running through left to right. But yeah, that makes sense actually. Okay, so we need a function for this. This is kind of complicated. Okay, so we're going to make a new function. So I'm going to call this find runs, right? So we're going to say for each transform cell in grid.transform. All right. We need to get the cell, the maze cell, which I'll say get cell equals cell get component maze cell. And then I need to say, right. We need to declare an integer of path tiles and set it to 0. Oh no, we don't do it there though. Do it there. Okay, we need to declare an integer of path tiles and set it to 0. Then here we say if get cell cell type is 0, with meaning it is a path tile. Okay, then we say get cell. We say path tiles increment by 1. Else path tiles wants resetting back to 0. There is another time when we want to reset back to 0 though as well, right? Okay. Oh, this is awkward. Because I also need to go back and find out which cell the path started in, but I suppose it's always going to be in the same place, right? When we trigger it. So if we're looking for a series of 5 tiles or more, we're always going to find it on tile 5. Good morning, Alexandria. How are you? So here's the thing, right? If we're always going to find a run that we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 5 sequential path tiles, then we're going to identify a potential run always on the 5th tile, so we know to place the arrow 5 places back. But another time when we want to reset the path count, right? Path tiles. Is as we transcend columns, right? Because if this tile is a path and this tile is a path, this tile and this tile do not make a straight run, because obviously this is the end of the fucking level and this is the start of the next column. So we need to know as we're going through the columns. So what we also need is an integer, which is column number. We'll set it to 1 actually. And then as we're going through here, we need to say if, right, we're not actually counting cells though. To know, we need to know what cell we're in to know what if we're in a column. So we also need an integer of cell number as well. Okay, cell equals, we'll start from 1 again, right? We can't use cell because we have cell defined there. Okay, so we'll use cell number. Okay, so basically it starts at 1. At the end of each thing, we want to say cell number plus plus. If cell number becomes, there's 30 cells in a row. So as cell number becomes 31, we want to set column number to 2, column equals 2, and then return cell. We can't return cell number though. Yeah, no, that's fine. We don't care about what cell number is. We just care about, or do we? We might need to actually. Also, it's not column, it's row. Okay, I'm really confusing myself right now. Let's get this straight. Right, so we're using this to count path tiles so we can identify a straight run. We do need to know what tile number it is within the iteration. Right, so we'll call that one cell index because that's more accurate, and that wants to start from a 0, right? But then also we need to know what our XY position is in the grid. So for that we'll use cell row and we'll start at 1, and then we'll do cell column and we'll start at 1. Okay, so every time we go through cell column, because we're running along the rows, so cell column is incrementing by 1. If cell column reaches 31, then cell column becomes 1 because there is no 31st tile, and cell row becomes 2. Similarly, if cell column, let's do an else because it shouldn't trigger it, but we'll do an else if cell column becomes 61, then cell column becomes 1 and cell row becomes 3. Okay, that lets us... Why doesn't it like that? Oh, it's because I put an absolute equals in there. Right, okay. So as we're iterating through each grid position, we know where our row is, where our column is, we know what number... Hang on, no we don't. Cell index wasn't incremented. As we increment cell column, we also want to increment cell index each time as well. Okay. There's a reason for this. Because basically we need to make a note of where the we need to make a note of where the runs are. So you see how we can turn this stars to private now because we know that works. So we'll private our stars list. For now I'm going to make it public just so I can keep an eye on it because this is kind of complicated. But basically we're going to do the same thing again, right? We're going to make a note in our index system of where our boosts are. So these are going to be boosts. New list of integers. We'll make it public so we can see them, and then basically this is kind of a pain in the ass, but okay. We said here if the cell type is 0, then we increment path tiles by 1 because we found a traversable tile. However, if we do not find a traversable tile, we want to reset this counter to 0. Right? That's correct. But also in here, we need to add some additional logic because if path tiles now has reached 5 traversable path tiles in a row, then this is a potential run. Now I don't want to make every single run. Here's the trick. Here's the thing as well. I don't want to make every single run. Man, I wake up to Coachella and Avatar: The Last Airbender in Fortnite. Lame. Yeah, I saw something about Coachella actually on YouTube last night, like a thumbnail for it, and I was like, oh god, Coachella! I forgot that existed. I remember when Miku was at Coachella and everyone was losing their minds. I thought that was funny. I was like, Miku at Coachella, what the hell? That I would love to see. Okay, so basically we found an eligible run here for placing an arrow on. However, this is where things get a little bit tricky, right? It would have been 5 tiles before, so whatever cell index is, okay, it would be cell index minus 5. So we can say integer valid tile equals cell index minus 5. And this is the tile we want to place the booster arrow on. However, I don't want it to be a definite yes or no. I want it to be a coin flip. Right, so we've got a coin flip now. There's a 50-50 chance of getting a run on this path. Or maybe it should be a 1 in 3 because we have 3 columns. That's better, isn't it? A 1 in 3. Let's make it a 1 in 3 chance. Okay, so a 1 in 3 chance. So then what we're going to do is we're going to say int run chance equals random range. Give me a number between 0, starting from 0, and we want 3 possibilities. So that'll give us a number between 0 and 2. I mean, it's actually easier just to start it at 1 because then it's just a number between 1 and 3. Right, okay, so there's a number between 1 and 3. And then we'll say if run chance happen to land on 2, if we happen to roll a 2, then this will become a run. So what we'll do is we already know our valid tile. Our valid tile is cell index -5. Oh, I said cell index equals 5. That should be -5. Okay, we've already got our valid tile. So we can say our runs boosts add the index position of valid tile. Because even though we're actually on cell tile, right, as our indexer, because it took us 5 traversable tiles to notice a run, what we actually want to do is, let's say there's a run, let's run it actually. Let me run it to show you what I mean. When we get a run like this, this is a nice long run, right? Although this is kind of a really bad example because our kitty is actually on the leftmost tile. Oh, yeah, that is a bad example. But here we've got an eligible run, right? Because this is 6 tiles long, right? If it randomly said, yes, I'm going to boost the player. I'm going to put a boost arrow for this player on this run here. And it rolls the lucky number. Then we actually want to put the boost arrow here on the leftmost tile. So that it's basically it's quicker for the player to get to the boost arrow. And then the boost arrow will run them to the next wall. And then there might be... So there would never be a boost arrow in the middle. The boost arrows always want to be on the leftmost side of the wall. So maybe you got one here, maybe you got one here, maybe you got one in both. But as soon as you hit one of these boost arrows, you're just going to run to the wall anyway. Okay. Okay, so let's do that now. So now we need to check to see if that works. So remember when we said if new stage, we do all this and then we say new stage equals false. Let's call find runs on a new stage. And now when a level generates, what we should see, we haven't got any way to visually represent it yet, but what we should see is some boosts that randomly generate, right? Some boost locations. Okay, we got 3 boosts. One starting on tile 16, so we can check to see if that's correct, right? Well, that's easy, just A16. So A16, can we see where that is? Yeah, it's this tile here. Okay, so it didn't work. That's not what we want. Okay, weird. Why did it pick tile 16? So it's kind of right. It probably means it picked this run, but instead of starting it on the left, for some reason it wanted to place it on the right. So that's kind of weird, which is the opposite of what we want. So let's see if we can figure out why it did that. Actually, I don't know why it did that, because didn't we say... Valid tile is whatever cell index we're up to -5, because it must have started 5 tiles back. And we added valid tile. Weird. Oh wait, I know why. I think I know why. No, because we only do it on the 5th tile. For a minute there I was thinking, oh, maybe we're doing it on tile 5, tile 6, tile 7. Yeah. But we're not, because we said hard equals 5.
We're going out for dinner. But when you get a chance today, sometime you look at that water again. Apparently it's very hot. I wonder whether it's flipped back over when it went off.
Yeah, it shouldn't have done, but I can have a look. Yeah.
It's just when you get to
Right. So I was thinking maybe what it was doing is it was doing the dice roll on tile 5, tile 6, tile 7. But there's 2 reasons why it wasn't doing that. Number 1, we only had 3 runs in that level, and number 2, we say hard equals 5, right? So we're only ever going to find a suitable path on tile 5. So we only do this once per path essentially. So even if path tiles becomes like 14 or whatever, right, and we get a really long path, this won't happen more than once. So it's odd to me that this picked the rightmost tile. I really can't see how it did that. Let me run that again. That's really weird. I don't know how that got. I don't know how it got it. Why did it do the opposite of what we wanted it to do? That's what I'm confused about. Alright, let's have a look at the next one. See if we can figure this out. We got no boosts. Oh bollocks. Okay, that's fine. That will happen sometimes. But it should have done a dice roll here, a dice roll on this one. 3, 4, 5. It should have done one there, one there. Yeah, I don't know. I find it hard to believe that it dice rolled all of these and never landed on 2, but maybe that's correct. Maybe it did. Maybe we should do some debug messages to make sure that it's working. Okay, this time we got 4 boosts. Okay, so yeah, I think it's working. You know, again, it's just sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not, right? So our tile is 26. So that's going to be A26. So where's that? What the fuck? That's not correct, is it? What is happening here? This can't be right. Something is seriously wrong with our boosts. Locator. Ha! Yeah, you can say that again. I just don't see anything wrong with the logic. Okay, we need to find out what's going on here. So let's put some debug messages in. So every time we hit tile 5, I'm going to do a debug message and say, I found a potential run. Alright, and we'll say current index, and then we'll say what the cell index is. And then we'll say start index, or V for valid index, and then we'll just say what the cell index -5 is on that. That needs to be in a bracket. And then if the dice roll is successful, we'll say debug.log added run at, and then we'll say what the valid tile is on that. Okay, let's see what we get in debug. Something is not right, and I can't see the issue. That's the thing. Can't really see the issue with that. Something's not working as expected. Clearly. Okay, so we got... I found... Let's see if it found all the potential runs first, right? So how many potential runs are there here? Well, it has to be a 5 or more tiles, right? So there's certainly one here. There's one there. There's 2 runs. There's 3 runs. We should see 3 potential runs in here. I found a potential run where we get 4. I found a potential run at index 14, so that would be A14. That should be 5 tiles in. It's not though, is it? It's 4 tiles in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, this might be why it's not working. Interesting. So that's... Oh no, wait a minute. Wait. Index 14 is the 14th. We start counting from 0. So that's actually... Yeah, that's actually index 5. That's actually 15. Okay, I've been reading this wrong. That's probably why. Yeah, no, that makes sense now because it was 5 tiles in, right? So, and it starts at the top row. So yeah, this is the first run it should have found. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where it found it on the 5th tile. So it knows that 5 tiles back, which should be index 9, is actually A10. So index 10 should be... Okay, that's actually the wall. So this is probably where we're going wrong. Maybe it's -4. Yeah, -4 because we go back 1, 2, 3, 4. If you think about it, right? Because if you're going back, you're actually going back 4 places. Okay, so there's our first problem with our code. We should be going back 4, not 5. And also I was reading the indexes wrong. Bah. Alright, let's see if that works now. Okay. Okay, I found a potential run at index 34. So we know 34 is actually the 35th tile. So that would be B5. So apparently the first run, yeah, that's correct because we don't have 5 in a row on row 1. But we do have 5 in a row here. This is something I'm going to need to figure out though. The problem with this is, right, our cat starts exactly where the arrow should be. So we do need to take that into account. Okay, so there needs to be a special rule for rows that start on the first column. Rows like runs that start on the first column shouldn't have their arrows placed 4 back because that would place it on the cat. And so if it placed the arrow on the cat, as the level loaded, the cat would hit the arrow and run to the wall as soon as the level loads, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but the arrow's going to disappear when the cat goes over it, so the player's going to think like the cat just ran for no reason, but it didn't run for no reason. It's because an arrow spawned on top of it, right? But the player's not going to know that. So I think instead of that, maybe we just place the arrow 1 square in front of the player. Then the player can be like, ooh, there's an arrow right there. Boom, let's get it. And they get it and they boost all the way along here. So, okay, I need to bear that in mind. But for now, let's not worry about that. So, yeah, this is the first potential run correct. It picked it up here, which is also correct, right? Because it's 5 tiles in. And then if we go back, the index should have been 30. Now, don't forget, 30 I was thinking was up here, but 30 is actually in the correct place. It's where the cat is. Again, that in itself is actually a problem for us, but it's a problem we'll have to deal with once we get the main, all the other ones working properly. Okay, so index 41. I found a potential run at index 41. Index 41, good lord. So let's see, we've got 30 on the first row. 41 is actually the 42nd tile. So that would be B12, right? I think. Yeah, that also looks correct. Yeah, 5th tile in, along a run, and index 37, which, well, we already know it's 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles back, right? Alright. Yeah, so that appears to be working fine. So now the next stage is, now that we've mapped our boosts out, okay, let me put that logic in now before I forget, because the logic, otherwise the logic is going to be a pain in the ass. So every time it finds a boost tile where cell index, this is a pain in the ass. It's fine. Let me just figure this out. If valid tile is 0, valid tile is 30, or valid tile is 60. That should be 60, right? So 0, 30, and 60, if it's any of those three numbers, we need to add 1 to the number. So when we calculate our valid tile here, I need to say if valid tile is 0 or valid tile is 30 or valid tile is 60, then valid tile increment by 1. Move 1 position to the right. Okay, that should avoid the start boost ever appearing on the first column, because that's bad. Today is Dank Jokes Cat Day. Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, it's because I'm building this in the be right back screen, right? So in the be right back screen, she's just gonna try and keep you entertained while I'm gone. So yeah, she's just gonna freaking tell joke after joke after joke and fact after fact and whatever. She's gonna be a gobshite basically. Which is why I've muted her, because it was very hard to concentrate on this while she was rabbiting on. Okay, okay, so now we need to go and draw those arrows in. So the first thing we need to do, as we add the, we're already iterating through the transform cell in grid transforms, right? We already get the maze cell, which is get cell. So if we're adding a valid tile, which is here, right? That's where our debug message is. I'm going to say maze cell. Right, okay, there is an issue here. Fuck, I forgot about this part. This is so hard. This is so hard. Here's how I want this to work, right? I do like to challenge myself, but holy fuck. Yeah, I know that, but her fun facts about 9/11 and shit. Yeah, I wasn't. Obviously, I'm not picking up anything that she's putting down right now because my brain is elsewhere. But yeah, I can imagine. I don't even know what's in there, right? I just grabbed them all offline, so there's probably all kinds of gnarly shit in there. But yeah, her heart squirting blood and stuff like that. She's got all kinds of gnarly shit in there, hasn't she? Right, how I want this to work is in my cell class, I've got a boost distance on a tile. Now, most tiles are going to have a boost distance of 0. But basically, what I want this value to say is I want this value to say, if we hit this tile, how far is the cat going to run? And for a boost tile, the cat should run until it hits the next wall. The reason that's a pain in the ass is where we're at in the loop right now. We haven't reached the end of the path yet, right? So this number hasn't reached as high as it will go, because we're still iterating through each object to find it. So we can't set the value to what we need it to be yet because we don't know what the value is. So the way we do that is we need another integer now that we can use, which is going to be, I'll call it path length. I'll set it to 0. So as we're iterating through, we say path tiles plus plus if the cell type is 0, else path tiles equals 0. Now here, this is kind of weak because I also don't care about the path lengths. Oh, this is really awkward. I've made this so hard on myself. Right. I could just say, well, hey, here, if we just got off a path, then we need to know what the path length was, so we can basically make path tiles match path length here, and then just restore, like, do something with that number. The problem is there is a 1 in 3 chance of rolling that boost, and so we also need to know whether this was a boost, this was a path that we give a shit about or not. Because if we didn't roll a boost on this path, then we don't care how long the path is because we're not going to put a booster on it anywhere. So I also need a bool, which I'm going to call onPath is false. So the first thing I need to do is set onPath to true as we add a boost value into the boosts index to say where the boost starts. So that down here I can say as we reset the path tiles to 0, I can say if boost path on path, if on path, then path tiles, whatever path tiles equals is how long we want to run for, I think. Let me just figure this out. So let's say it's going to go across. Let's say there's a run here, right? It's gonna count. It's going to add a 1, 2, 3, 4. But as we land on it's -1 because as we land on a boost, the boost is going to move us 1 extra tile, right, per boost. So if the path is 6 long, we only boost 5 places. So it actually wants to be path length equals path tiles -1. You know what? We don't really need path length. The reason why is we can just do this calculation and we can just apply it straight to the maze cell. So we can just say maze cell get cell, I called it, get cell dot boost distance, and then say that equals path tiles -1. Then we go ahead and set path tiles to 0. So hopefully, if my brain is working correctly, and it's actually very important that we also reset on path to false here as well. There we go. If my brain is working correctly, now what we should do is, as we're adding the start indexes for each boost that we're placing randomly, we also go into that tile. Wait, no, we don't though. We don't. Okay, I made a mistake. We're putting this on the last tile. And actually, I think this might be path tiles -2, you know. Because by the time we drop into this else, it means that we found a non-traversable path tile. So if we found a non-traversable path tile, 1 position back would be the last tile of the path. But because we're boosting forwards, it's actually -2. So first of all, this is -2. Secondly, we don't apply it to get cell because get cell is the last. Actually, right now it would be the wall after the path. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. Yes, it is fine. No, this isn't fine because it's kind of fine because in most circumstances, no, it's fine. It is fine because I was just thinking, what about in the situations where our path ended on a last tile here? What do we do about the fact that we just moved down a column? But it's fine because if we use... Shit, no, it's not fine though because we're already iterating through the list. Okay, you know what I think? Okay, I think I know why. I think I need to do this outside of this loop. I don't think I can do this in the loop because if I do this in the loop, because the thing is, we have no way of going backwards through this grid currently. We would have done if we'd have made a copy of it in memory and kept like a list, but I've been quite efficient with this and I haven't done it that way, which I'm now regretting, kind of. But no, it's fine. I can just iterate through the list again and then do it on the second iteration. So let's take this out. We can't do this here. We're going to need to use the indexes that we made. And we're just going to have to count them again. Pain in the bum, but I think that's the only way. Let's just mute that out as well. So that doesn't matter. And then we don't do this if query either. So we could just leave that. We'll just leave that like that. Yeah. So basically, I need to iterate through the list again a second time. Yeah. Yeah. Hang on. This is going to be a right pain in the bum. Right, I just wanted this structure for this for now. So for this one, what we care about is cell index basically. So if we set cell index to 0 here, and then we just iterate through cell index, we can say if cell index is found in boosts, and we need a boost index as well. At boost index. Then begin counting basically. So we already have path tiles, don't we? So let's reset path tiles to 0. And then we say path tiles plus plus. Okay. So this is saying if we find the index position of a valid boost path start position, then as we iterate through the cells, we are counting how many traversable path tiles there are. But in this logic, we're not checking to see if a path tile is actually a path tile. So we also need to do that. So we also need to say we want to declare a maze cell, which will say get cell. Actually, I don't think it'll let us use that because we used it in the one above. Will it let me get that one? Get components. Maze cell. Yeah, it'll let us use that again. That's fine. Yeah, then we want to say the if get cell. It already knows what we want. Is cell type 0. Yeah, then path tiles. That's exactly correct. Hey, it actually predicted what I wanted correctly. Because then the else of this statement is that we hit a wall. So here is where we hit the wall. So if we're at a wall now, we need to go back 2 places. So we have cell index. So we can say... Wait a minute. Don't I still have the same problem though? Because I have no way of going backwards through the list. How can I find... How can I find this? Well, we can find this. Shit. I do still have the same problem. The problem isn't that. Because I have no way of indexing that position once I hit the wall. Because we're iterating through the list of objects in order. Also, this wouldn't work either because this will only happen once on the cell where the start index occurs. So then on the second cell, on the second cell next to that index, we would just stop measuring the path because this is no longer in the list for the path index. So this wouldn't even work anywhere. Yeah, there's no 2 ways about it. I think I need to create a copy of this grid in memory so that I can address a specific index from it, which is fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's dead easy. Okay, so when we generate a level now, we're going to need to make a copy of it in there. So we'll clear the maze cells out, and as we generate columns first though, don't we? No, that's fine. We clear it here. For each transform child in grid.transform. This is where we do it. We set them active to false and we set them active to true. So here is where I'll say maze cells add child get components maze cell. Okay, now we have a copy of it in memory. So now I can do it where I wanted to originally do it, which is inside of the loop. So actually I'm just going to... Oh, I can't control Z because I lose what I just added. Shit. Fuck. Okay, it's fine. I can't control and Z it back without deleting what I just added. So, where the fuck was I? So I remember having a on path. That was quite smart of me, actually. That was quite a smart way of doing it. On path equals false. And then once we know we've hit a path, and after we add the valid tile, we can set on path to true. And then in the else here, we said if on path. And then here is where I was like, oh shit, I have no way of going backwards through the list, but now I do. So let me think. Wasn't I also adding... Yeah, because we just need to... No, we need to add the value. So the count... How was I doing the count? Path tiles. It was path tiles -2, wasn't it? Interestingly enough, it's saying I never use the integer cell raw. Did I not? Yeah, I don't think we care about cell raw, to be honest. I don't know why I added that. We don't need... Oh no, we did use cell raw. I don't know why it was saying it hadn't been used. It had. Yeah, we use cell raw here, so we know. Yeah, okay. Alright, so if on path, it would be path tiles -2, I think it was. So we can do int start tile is path tiles? Yeah, path tiles -2. Good lord, I hope this is correct. Okay, so our start tile will be 2 places. No, wait, is that even... That wouldn't even be our start tile, would it? Oh, didn't we say that was our boost length? Yeah, no, that was our length, right? Yeah, that was our get length. So our boost length is path tiles -2. Then we need to get... Okay, gonna watch Pong looking like Shrek Swamp. Ah, oh, God, I can picture that as well. I bet that smells interesting. Boost length equals path tiles -2. So now we have the length of the boost that we need to put in the starting tile of the boost. Now the starting tile in the boost will be in boosts. It should be in boosts at position boosts count -1, right? So we should be able to say boosts. No, hang on. That's not what we do at all. Oh my god, this is so complicated. It's not, it's fine. Maze cell get start is maze cells at position... No, not boost length. Maze cells at position paths at position paths dot length -1. Basically the last path that was logged in paths. It doesn't like that. Why doesn't it like that? The name paths does not exist in the current context. What did I call it then? Boosts. Okay, I called it boosts. That's why. Right. Length -1. It's boosts.count -1 because it's not an array, it's a list. Okay. There we go. So now we've got the maze cell for the starting block. Now literally all we have to do is say get start. God, I hope this is correct. Boost distance equals boost length. And that is how we do it. But we also need to make sure that we set on path to false after all of this, right? So on path equals false here. Otherwise it'll think it's on a path every fucking time. Okay, let's see if that works. Good lord, I cannot believe how much that broke my brain. Okay. I think that's correct. Confidence 80%. I'm only going to go as high as 80%. I do have a 20% feeling that I might have made a mistake. I might have missed something. Okay, so how do we know if it's working or not? Well, we have a look in paths. Boosts. There is one boost at position 75. Oh my god. So that is actually tile 76. So what's that? That's row 2 starts at 31. Wait, it's row 3. Well, let's look at the fucking thing, right? It's probably over here. Right. And it should have identified... Doesn't it... Didn't I remove the debug.log? Yeah, that was really helpful, actually. Okay, so boosts in position 75. Fuck! Well, this is 60, right? So 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's right. So it's put it there. It wants to put one here. That's perfect. Now I need to find that tile. So hang on. That tile right there. Right, so there's a square wall, isn't there? The easiest way to do this is just to click the fucking thing in the editor. So let's find that tile. Please, just let me click that tile, please. There it is. C16. That is C16. If we check C16, let's see if this is correct. C16 should have a boost length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If C16 says boost length now of 6, I am going to have a party. You know what? It has a boost length of 5. But I think that just means that, you know, when I was like, oh, well, it wants to be -2 because it's this and that. I think it's just -1. I think that's a win. I really do. Yes! Because we got the right tile and our boost length was off by 1, that's all. But I think that it's probably -1 instead of -2. It's just my brain's probably like thinking of it the wrong way or something. Okay, that is amazing. So now we need to... So the tiles know that they're boost tiles. So why can't we see them? Well, because we never told Maze Cell about boost distances. So we're going to teach it about it now. So we're going to say we want it to trigger on a boost change. So we want to make a private integer, which is last boost, and we're going to set it to 0. Then in here we're going to say if boost distance is not the same as the last boost value, then update the cell. Okay, then in update cell we need to teach it about boost. Oh, we already did. If boost distance is greater than 0, set the texture to a tile boost. There we go. Now I haven't taught our maze game about boosts yet. That's next. Now we should get a visual representation, which makes things much easier because then I can just see where the fucking boosts are. So let's see if it's putting boosts in logical places next. That's the next thing. And we can re-roll as many levels as we want. Yes! Look at that! Look at that, baby! Look at that! That is exactly what we want. So there's a boost here, which should take us all the way to this wall. There's a boost down here. Now we have a reason to go backwards as well, right? Because if I was here, I'd be like, oh, there's a boost there that's going to get me all the way over to there. Yeah, fuck, I'm going to go back and get that. So now I can go left, down, and get that. Now we have a reason to go backwards in the game as well. So these boost arrows were a great idea of mine. I think these are a great idea. Okay, now they won't do anything yet because we haven't programmed them into the maze game, but we're going to do that next. But that is fucking... I am so happy with that. Right, let's generate a few more levels. Just make sure it's still looking good. But so far, so good. And as long as those tiles... So that one is A3, right? As long as these tiles have the boost value... 13, it's saying. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Exactly correct. It knows exactly where where it's going to boost you to. It's going to boost you to there. This one should be B. I don't know how far in is that. God knows. It's going to be one of the B's. We'll find it. It's probably around B10 somewhere, I would guess. Maybe it's further along than that. Where is that? There it is. It's B15, and it's saying boost distance is 12. Just make sure we are getting the right. Yeah, you can see it is because it's got. I can see the maze arrow there. So there's B15, and we know it put the arrow in the right place, so we're not going to worry about that. And it's saying boost 12 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. It knows this fucking level. It knows. We've coded it right. I'm so proud of this. This is so cool. All right, this is so fucking cool. I love this. Oh. Okay, so now now we need to make sure that when the player hits a boost arrow, the player gets boosted, right? So how are we going to do that? Well, we already know how far to boost the player, so it's not actually that bad. So when we calculate player position in the maze game, we already have a little bit of logic here that says if it was a star, we increment the star, and there you go. If new stage, stars clear. No, hang on, that's not it. But it's this bit here. Get player position equals this and that. If player.star index is greater than 1. Also, we should give the player a bonus score, I think. So at the moment the player gets 10 extra points for picking up a star. I think using a boost, we should give them like an extra 5 points on top of the score that they're going to generate altogether anyway. Okay, so if player score equals player score plus 10 and then stars remove that. We want to do something similar here basically. So all we need to say is if player cell dot boost distance is greater than 0. Now it always has to be at least 5, right? Because we only said that paths that were 5 or more long were valid for a boost anyway. But it's fine, we'll say greater than 0. If player cell dot boost distance is greater than 0, oh, there is something else I need to do. I need to make sure I reset those boost values back to 0 on a oh, also I didn't say last. Yeah, last boost equals boost distance here. Where am I resetting stars now? How do I reset stars? It's not on enable, is that? Yeah, see, I was, and then that was breaking things. So how do I clear stars out though? I need to make sure that's actually working. Maybe I do need that in there, you know. There is a chance that it's still giving the star score to tiles where the stars were on the previous level, because I don't see where I'm resetting that. Let's just see if this really quickly. Let's see if that breaks things. I remember muting that out while I was debugging it because I was having issues, but I think that does want to be in there. Why isn't that loading? Wait, what? Wait, what the fuck? What the hell is happening? Because it's not got any errors in the console. Right, is Unity being Unity? It feels like Unity is being Unity. Let me just save and come back out and go back in. It's kind of weird. Yeah, because it's going to be an even bigger problem if we don't make sure that stars aren't. I think it might have been because we might not have noticed. Like if a star was on this level, then we got to level 2, and then we pass over that tile. I might not necessarily have noticed that it was giving me the score for the star, even though there was no star on the second level. If that makes sense. But that's a bigger problem for us if it's happening with boosts as well, because the player's going to be rushing forward without picking up a boost, wondering what the fuck is happening. So we need to make sure that is Working as expected. Okay, so I want to make sure we can still pick up stars and it's still scoring us on them. And if we can, then I know how to reset. Yeah, that seems to be working. Good, good. Yeah, okay, so then I know, now I know the answer. So yeah, that did want to be back on. Yeah, so on enable, we just need to make sure that boost distance is being reset to 0. Yeah, and then that's resetting it. Okay. So back in our maze logic, yeah, I'm going to give an extra 5 points for using a boost. But then I don't want to teleport the player, because the sort of tempting thing to do now is just to say, okay, well, we know where to boost distance and we could just run it in a loop, right? But if we ran it in a loop, it would look as if the player had teleported. So the way I want to handle boosts is I want it to like basically animate it. So we're going to need a core routine for this. So we need a new bool. So we're going to make a private bool is boosting, which is equaling false by default. And all we're going to do here in our logic is we're going to set is boosting. You know what? Let's make that an integer. Yeah. Is boosting, we should set it to the player cell dot boost distance. This is a much easier way of doing it, because if I do that, then I basically just subtract 1 from the is boosting integer until we hit 0, and now boost is over, right? So I don't need to query cells ever again or anything. We already have the value that we need in here. So that should be 0 by default. So if is boosting becomes more than 0, then we animate and boost the player along until boosting reaches 0. We already added the extra score. We also want to pick up that boost, right? We don't want the boost to stay there. Or do we? I don't know, actually. I don't know, actually. It's up to me, right? Do I want boosts to permanently stay on that tile so you can revisit them and boost again if you wanted to? Or should there be a one-time only use thing? I think there should be a one-time only use thing, especially considering I'm giving an extra 5 points for using it. Because otherwise you could kind of cheat by just going backwards and just picking up the same boost over and over and over again. Probably wouldn't be that efficient, to be honest. But if you'd already figured out the command, the series of like left, rights, ups, downs and all that shit to go and get the boost, you essentially could just paste the same command over and over and over again and cheat and just keep racking up your score. So that's my reason for thinking it's better to pick up the arrow, and it should be a one-time only thing. Okay, so we will get, so now we need to also yeah, so we set the player cell is boosting equals player cell to boost distance. So the way we do that is we just say the player cell boost distance we want to now set to 0. And by setting the player cell boost distance to 0 on the cell itself, we're essentially saying, okay, you're no longer a boost cell. Okay, so now we need a core routine. Okay, it doesn't know what an I enumerator is because we need system collections. Generic. System collections rather. Okay, system collections, so we know what a core routine is. Then also back in our logic, we need to start that core routine. Where is it? Jeez, this is quite a long script now. You know what? This tends to be how long my scripts get. I've noticed that. My scripts always end up somewhere in the 300 lines region for some reason. That always seems to be where I kind of cap out, which is interesting. That is kind of interesting. Boost player. You have a lot. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. So we want to start core routine. Boost player. Okay. So in boost player, we want to say while is boosting is greater than 0. We want to continue to do this, and we can take that out because we want to yield return because it's animated. We want to yield return new await for a fraction of a second, and where it wants to be will be kind of, you know, something we can figure out. Off the top of my head, I think a third of a second is fine, so the player will move like 3 squares within 1 second. Maybe it could be a little bit quicker. And we'll probably add sound effects to this just to give a better... At the moment it doesn't have sound effects, but we can probably add sound effects to it just to, you know, if the player boosts, it would be nice if there was a little sound. Maybe even moving in general. Maybe picking up the stars. I have no idea yet. We'll figure it out. Worry about that last. Right, so if his boosting is greater than 0, then we want to update the player position 1 to the right. So basically, yeah, it's always going to be current position. So it's going to be current column increment by 1, and then we're going to say update maze. And then we also want to subtract 1 from is boosting, right? Take 1 off the boost meter. And we're going to wait for 0.2 of a second. I'll try to a quarter of a second. So this will move 4 squares in a second. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay, so it's going to wait for a quarter of a second, and then it's just going to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it until is boosting becomes 0. And we've used our boost up, and we should end up wherever we're supposed to end up. And that's basically it. If we got everything right, which I think we did. Alright, let's test it. Woohoo! I'm excited! We've got our coins, we've got our walls, we've got our boosts, we've got our never-ending generated random levels. This is actually a pretty cool little project, actually. Just this little game all alone. It's pretty fun. Alright, so here we go. I'm starting in the top left square, apparently. I can decide if I want to get that coin or not. I think I will. Go and get that coin. Yeah, we've got extra points for that. No boosts, though. Is that correct? Okay, no. Something went wrong. Unless, I wonder if the boost is here and it put a star on top of a boost. No, because we draw the boosts last, don't we? Well, it's the cell itself is actually responsible for its appearance. Okay, so I think maybe our reset mechanism, hang on a minute, you know what I think it is? I think our reset mechanism is breaking the boost system. Because I had a similar issue with the stars, actually. Hang on. Yeah. Bollocks. Okay. How did I do it with the stars? How did I fix the stars? Because now I can reset the stars on enable, and the stars still work. I can't remember how. So why are the boosts? Like, I know why it's happening, I'm just not sure how to stop it. It's because when we update the visualization of the level, we basically cause the values to reset. No, I know why. Okay, I think I know why. Oh, yeah, this is awkward as fuck. Actually, they might disappear as well, you know. Oh, no, they actually don't. That's interesting. Okay, so we might have more options available to us. There we go. Now, I know it looks like everything's working, because it kind of is. Oh, although for some reason, on the first time we boost, we have 2 cats. Doesn't actually look too bad, though, because it almost looks like, you know, in cartoons when somebody moves real quick and there's 2 copies of them. But that's an accident. That shouldn't be happening. It's because we didn't... Actually, I don't know why that's happening, because we call update maze, and update maze should know where the player position is. Maybe we need to update maze before and after the change, maybe. Let's see if that changes it. Yeah, so I know it looks like it's working, because it is, but there is one problem right now, and that we have no way of resetting the boosts across multiple levels. So what's going to happen... This is the last thing I need to fix now. What's going to happen right now is wherever a boost was on level 1, and it didn't make any on level 1 just to make a fucking fool out of me. Okay, give me another level. There we go. Okay, so where there's a boost here, that's not going to... Although when... Well, yeah, it depends whether we pick it up. So here's the thing, right? If we use a boost, the boost will get erased from the level, right? Because we made sure of that when we went over a boost. But let's say we well, we can't really avoid this boost. Actually, this is a mandatory boost, because there's no way to get over here without going over that boost. And actually the same for this one. So this is a really bad example, but imagine that you have a boost that you don't use, right? If there's a boost that the player decides not to use and they just move on to the next level, I have no way of resetting the boosts. There is a simple fix for that, actually. There is a little sneaky little cheat that I'm probably going to implement. So the way I did it with the stars is I separated the mapping of the stars from the drawing of the stars, and so we map the stars once per level generation, and then we draw the stars every time the player moves, so that we can reset the stars before we redraw them again, basically. With the boosts, I try to be smart and efficient, and I've basically drawn the boosts at the same time that we generate the boosts, which means I don't have the luxury of being able to reset the boosts every time the player moves. So now the boosts won't reset, but there's a simple way I can fix that, actually. I think I know what to do, because I don't really want to separate the drawing of the boosts from the, because it's just a pain up the ass, but I could. Yeah, we still get that double cat. Why do we get the double cat on the first boost? That's kind of weird. Huh. Why do we get a double cat when we land on a boost? It doesn't erase the previous cat. I suppose I already know though. I don't know though. Why are we getting a double cat? Updating the maze twice didn't fix it either. I thought it might. Why do we get a double cat when we boost? I mean, this is basically what we do when we move with the things, so I don't really know why it would behave any differently. Seems odd. It fixes itself on the second boost as well, which is even more interesting. So why do we get 2 cats when we first hit a boost? Oh, I think I know why. Because... oh, no, maybe not. Do I know why? No, I don't know why. I thought I did. I thought maybe it was because it was like... it basically moved the player with the move command to hit the thing, and then it also moves the player on the first boost. So essentially the player moves twice on one cycle, if that makes sense, instead of once, which is why I thought it might have been doing it. But... yeah, I think that might be somewhat true. But then we don't know what direction the player moves onto the boost from, so why would it make 2 cats next to each other? If you move down onto it, that's the strange part. I suppose because the boost caused by the boost is always going to be to the right of wherever the cat is, because you can only boost right. Still, as far as I'm aware, this should still behave the same way as sending a command to move to the right though, right? So like, why would it... move right? Current column plus player score plus. Oh, that's something we didn't do in boost. We should still be getting a score, 1 score for every position moved right. And we update maze. We set move right. Ah, that might be why, because we set move right to false. Ah, that might be why. Yeah. We never get a chance. No, we do though, don't we? I suppose we don't know. Okay, it might be that. I suppose we don't know which direction we're moving onto it from. So it might be the move right to false thing. So we want to say move right equals false. We also, as we increment current column, we want to increment player score. Then update the maze. And remove 1 from is boosting. Let's see if that fixes that. The double cat. The double cat is strange. I wonder. It could be. I don't know if it could be the move, right? Because again, the issue with that though is, I suppose we can't just move right false, right? We need to do it on all of them because again, we don't know what direction the player's going to move onto the boost from. I don't even know if it is this, to be honest. This one is kind of stumping me, but I don't really know why we get a double cat. Let's try setting all of those to false and see if that fixes it. Because, yeah, it might be that the instruction that the player moved isn't being reset in the normal way. Because the player's no longer moving the cat, our script is instead, our coroutine is instead. So maybe that's throwing it a bit. Okay, we do have a bit. For a minute there, I thought we didn't have a boost in this level. Oh, this is a nice level. Alright, move up onto that. No, we still get 2 cats. Ah! Why do we get 2 cats? Alexandra, why do we get 2 cats? I know you know. Just tell me already. I know you want me to learn and you want me to get better, but you could just tell me. You could also just tell me. I know that you know. I know you're laughing right now. You're like, oh my god. How does he not know? It's so obvious. Well, it wasn't that, so I'm taking that out. Oh, so annoying. Okay, I can just override. I can just cheat, and we'll blank that tile out to the left. We know that that tile had a boost on it anyway, right? Oh, you know, that might be it. Oh, I think I know why. No, do I? It must be that 2 cell tiles. Two cell tiles are being registered as the player style. So as we start the coroutine of boost player, we set boost distance to 0, but what we didn't do is we didn't set the player cell to no longer be a player cell, right? So that would be a cell type equals 0 as well. I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah. See, I'd found it on my own. You could have just told me, though, that that's what it was. I think it's a bit mean that you didn't just tell me. Right. Let's see if I'm right. Wait, there wasn't... Oh, there might have been a boost. Oh, no. I just came across another issue. I think there was a boost arrow underneath that star, and it was confusing because... yeah, really, that shouldn't be allowed to happen. No, it's still got the double cat. What the fuck, man? Oh, this is really annoying. Okay, there is another way I can fix that. I really don't know how is it the 2 tiles? I suppose I'm saying player cell type 0 here, but then the player cell is being set to 2 here anyway, right? So that's probably just overriding it. Okay, so I think what I should do is if player cell dot boost distance is 0, which for most cells it is, then we set the type to 2, which is player. I don't even think it's that. Oh, this is really annoying. It's just one tiny little thing, but it's annoying me. We don't want 2 cats. No, I feel like it's... Is it just doing it on stars now? What the fuck? Is it doing that on all stars now? No, it's not doing it on all stars. Thank God. Okay, we never got a boost on here. Yeah, the problem is though it is putting boosts on top of stars or underneath stars rather, which it shouldn't do. I think it's fine as long as the boost appears after the star update. Which I thought it did, right? Because we say here boost distance, but I guess maybe the boost distance... What if we just set that to if boost distance is greater than 0? Oh, there's just a couple of little issues now. The double cat thing. I do need to add a reset for the boosts as well across levels. And drawing, right, I just need to reshuffle these. Drawing boosts and stars in the same position. I think I fixed that one. Okay, I think I fixed the drawing stars on top of boosts. Wait, that should never be allowed to happen. Why is that allowed? But why is there a boost there? Oh, again, it's probably... Yeah, that's the thing. It's probably... Yeah, as we keep doing this, this is exactly what I'm saying. You'll see more and more boosts appear. Because there's no way of resetting the boost, right? So I need to fix that now. Because eventually we'll just have a level full of boosts. Shit. Wrong script. Wrong script. I want in this one. Well, no, we could just do it in... We could just do it in generate maze though, can we? Generate maze, we know that we're generating a new maze. So we just need to reset the boosts in here. Don't we already have a for each? There we go. Should just be as easy as that. Alright, so I think I've fixed the stars and the boosts spawning on the same tile. And I think I just fixed the boosts not resetting across level loads. Now the only thing left is the double cat. Make sure that that worked. Yeah, those boosts are disappearing now across level loads. Make sure boosts still work though. And it did that. It put the boost right in front of me like I wanted, right, for this. Ah, fuck. Oh no, it's fine. It's because when our script's not actually... Bollocks. I've turned it off already. Never mind. I wanted to test that one. Yeah, we still got the double cat. This double cat thing is driving me mad. I know a way to fix it though. We'll just force it. I just need to know which one it's happening on though. Is it happening on the first boost? Where's that function to get the cell name? Get tile name. Tile name. It's probably just not. Probably just not resetting, isn't it? Right, surely that's got to fix it, right? Double cat's the only thing now. Everything else is working fine. It's just the double cat. Ah, it's still doing it. Oh my god, this double cat thing is driving me mad. Why is it doing it? I don't get how it could be doing it. There's nowhere. Oh my god, I refuse to let this happen. I will defeat this double cat thing. Why is it doing it though? I don't even know why it's doing it. It's so weird. There should be no difference between moving with these and how we move with the boost. So I don't really understand why it's doing it. It's really strange. Oh my god, why can't I get rid of this double cat? No, why is it doing it? Wait a minute. Is that why? Let's try this a sec. Oh my god. I hate it when it's something just silly and little like this, but it's really bothering me. I don't even understand how it's possible. Well, it's not possible, right? That's the weirdest part, right? Is because the way I've set up the system, there can only be one player tile. The player can only be on one tile. And we only tell the tile that it's a player tile after we calculate the player position, right? Based on a single column and row address. So how... Wait, I think I know what to do. It's something to do with this maze cell, I'm sure it is. Would boost distance be reset to 0 at this point though? Probably, right? If boost distance has been changed and reset to 0, then set this cell state, cell type to 0, and then update the cell. How about that? Please, 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 please. This is gonna drive me insane. It's something like this is gonna drive me insane. It's gonna be one of these weird things. No, I'm sure that's gotta do it right. Because we do tell the cell that it's no longer a player cell. And we also set its boost to 0, so if we put that in there, then it's forced to update, right? And know that it's no longer a player cell. Oh my god, this is driving me insane. How is it doing it still? Okay, I need to see what's happening. I need to pause it on the exact moment. That's going to be kind of hard to do, actually. I could put a breakpoint in it, I guess. Yeah, I didn't get time. What if we slow down the boost? Do we not use that? Apparently not. Okay. Right. Wait 5 seconds to boost. Do we get time to inspect to see what's happening? Something is weird. There's got to be a way to fix this. I just don't know what the hell is going on. Okay, we're doing really slow boosts now. So I can inspect and see why the fuck we've got 2 cats at the same time. Right, it's in a state right now where there are 2 cats active at the same time. How is this happening? Okay, so our cat is... Well, I actually don't know where our cat is. It's supposed to be in one of these cells. I think our cat actually wants to be in A23, to be honest. It shouldn't be in A22. So A22... Yeah, they're both marked as player cells. How? Okay, we set the cell type to 2, and we even changed it to say that only if boost distance is 0 do we set the cell type to the player cell. This is where we were doing it previously, right? is we calculate the player position and then we set the player cell based on the player position. But I guess somehow like the player position got moved to the right. This is so strange. So it's not a star tile. Its boost distance is set to 0. This is fucking insane. If player cell boost distance is 0, which I suppose it wasn't on the previous frame, then we set the player cells dot cell type to 2. So it could be that so it's got to be this that's doing it, but like why? Because we already, I suppose we'll fall out. Well, this is why I stopped it, right? Because we set player cells boost distance to 0. But the player was on that tile previously, right? So hang on. But we don't even... No, that's the thing. We don't even update the position yet. We update the position when we start the coroutine of boost player. So the current position, as far as this logic is concerned... We set the cell type to 0. But so then that should put this cell type as 0. Something else is setting it back to 2. Where else do we set cell type to 2? That's the only place we set cell type to 2. What the fuck? I do not understand. We're not setting cell type to 2 anywhere else. No, that's the only place we set the player cell, which is what I thought. We even added an additional statement to say that boost distance should equal 0. So that we don't accidentally set the player cell on the boost cell. Although that doesn't really make sense, to be honest. So what other logic can we do? I suppose we could just do... Is boosting... Okay. Is boosting we set to player cell dot boost distance, right? So what we could do is we could say is boosting should equal 0. So that basically we're not boosting. Basically we are not boosting. Only if we are not boosting should we set the player tile to the current player's location. Does that fix it? Alright, moment of truth. The cat disappeared off the face of the earth. What the fuck? Yeah, because we still rely on this system. So maybe it's is boosting. We only want to avoid it on the frame where we do this, right? We could cheat by just adding another bool in, but no, hang on, let's think about this. Maybe we can say is boosting is not player cell, but we already set boosting back to... We already set boost distance back to... Zero. Ah, fuck. Okay. Let's just put a bool in here. New boost equals false, because I don't know how else to do this. This isn't the best practice, but as long as I fix it, I don't really give a shit. Right. And then here we'll just say new boost equals true. And then we'll say if not new boost, then update the cell based on the player's position. And then as we enter that coroutine, right, and then we call on update maze, we set new boost to false, I think. But the first, I don't even think that's going to work, right? Because the problem is the first new position is calculated. Well, okay, if this doesn't fix it, then we need to add an integer. Jesus Christ. We need to know how many times we've boosted the player using this coroutine. And then we can, instead of doing it as a new boost equals true or false, we'll just make it so that we calculate how many boosts have occurred. And if it's the first boost, then we make sure that that player position tile doesn't get updated after the... Oh, can I not just do it as an else statement? Didn't we already say an if anywhere for this? Yeah, we do if. Can we just say else? I think I'm an idiot. I think I could have just said else. I could have just else that, I think. Yeah, I think I could have just else it. No, because I think... Hang on. That stops him from boosting. Or is it just really slow? It's just really slow because I slowed it right down. Yeah, that's fixed it. Okay, that's fixed it. I don't care, that fixed it. Right, okay. So... that wants to equal 0.25. All right, let me just see it in all of its glory. We did it. We're done. Now we just need the chat commands, but I think I'll save that for another day because holy shit, that took way longer than I thought. 2.5 hours. There's always some silly little fucking thing in there. Right, let's make sure that's definitely working. I'm pretty sure it is. Alright, that's a nice level to test it with as well. Yay! I was thinking that wasn't a boost. That's correct. Shouldn't have done that. Except I don't know why the fuck it would put a boost here. I think it meant, you know what, I think it meant to put that boost there. But we said one forward if it was going to put it along a run like that. Yeah, this shouldn't have been allowed to happen. Hang on a minute. There was supposed to be 3 boosts in this level. I used one, but I can't remember where it was. I think it was here actually, wasn't it? I think it was here where I used the boost. $12, $29, and $39. Well, that's got to be the 12. That one's got to be the 29, yeah. 29 should have been 31. Shit. Right. I thought that was working though, because I've seen it put it in the right place before. I wonder if our column... Yeah, I bet our column splits aren't working properly. Yeah, you know why? Because we start counting from 0, don't we? No, we do. We don't count from 1. But then don't we say... That's our column splits. They seem to be correct to calculate the correct row and column. However... It's the get start is incorrect. What the fuck is get start? Get start is maze cells at boost count -1. So then when we add to maze, when we add to... But that's just a copy of the cells, right, in memory. So it would be the boosts add that's valid tile. If valid tile is 0, valid tile is 30 or valid tile is 60, then we set the valid tile 1 forward. Oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, yeah, that's right. So how the fuck did it put an arrow here? Oh my god, this is horrendous. That one is A30, right? And it actually put a boost of 7 there as well. It should have been B1. Because I'm pretty sure it probably rolled the dice on this one. Right, let me figure out what the fuck is going wrong. This is so annoying. Okay, let's just see it. We'll just regenerate some levels until we see something similar happen again. I need to find out why that's happening. So we fixed the fucking double cat and then I found a new bug. Great. No fucking boosts. Great. Okay. But there should have been one. Okay, so here's another problem. Oh my good lord. This is infuriating. What the fuck is going wrong with this shit? So there's a boost at tile 34, which is actually tile 35, which is actually B5, right? Okay, so it's still putting stars on top of boosts. I thought it fixed that. Oh my good lord, I can't do this. Right. It's putting stars on top of boosts. Okay. There's a simple fix for this. Well, no, the problem is, okay, what I was going to do is we could just tell the cell, look, this should never be allowed to happen, right? If you've got a boost distance greater than 0, then your star index should always be -1. Yes, that would fix the individual cell, but that wouldn't get rid of... Although I suppose we do have the star index, so we know where we could remove it from. Yeah, we could do that actually, because we do have the star index in there. Okay, I think that's the easiest way to fix this, is when we say... Right, if boost distance is 0, then we set the raw texture image to tile boost. And in here we could say if star index is greater than -1. Oh, it's a private... No, we can't, because it's a private list. Fuck. What do we use that list for, though? I think we only use that list when we land on a star tile. I think this will fix it, you know. I don't think it matters that we leave the reference of it in the other script. I don't think it really matters, because it's only when we land on a star tile in the first place that we like know what to do with it. So if the tile now no longer thinks it's a star tile, then it simply won't trigger that in the first place. Yeah. I think just setting that to -1 should stop that from happening without breaking anything else, I think. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. We are very close, actually. It's just little things now, little tiny little inconsistencies and bugs. Most of it works like perfectly. Okay, so that should have made sure that as we were setting the boost tile, that wasn't an else, was it? Oh shit, that wasn't else. Okay, that won't work unless we make it an if. But then we can't make that an else. So instead we'll have to say if boost index, boost distance is 0 and star index is -1, then that. Okay, that should do it. Yeah, it's still making mistakes, right? Why the fuck has it put a boost here when you need a boost length of at least 5? Something is seriously wrong with our boost. But what this is what I hate, right? It's like why couldn't it have generated issues like this for us earlier on? Why is it only now just generating these fucking issues? It's like it feels like a piss take, right? Because like we would have fixed this when we were working on that had we have seen something like that happen, but we never did. Well, but now we do. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, for fuck's sake. Okay. So it says I found a potential run at index 34. I wonder if something to do with. I feel like one of the recent changes, like maybe to change that double cat glitch. This was working. I'm fucking sure it was. I feel like one of the recent changes that I just made to fix the problem of the double fucking cat has broken our. Because this doesn't sound right to me. So index 34 would be B. 4. So it found. Wait, would it? No, it wouldn't. It would be B5 because it starts counting from 0. So it found a potential run here. Now that's correct. So why the fuck has it put an arrow there, right? Although, yeah, okay, that's not. I don't think that's the one. Okay, it added it at 56. Okay, fair enough. So it found a potential run at 56. So that's the 57th. So this is the 60th, 59, 58, 57th. That's where the V index was. But it found it at 60, which is the end, right? That doesn't make any fucking sense. $60 is actually... Wait, 60 is 61 though, isn't it? Oh, you know what's not happening then, I think? I think because this tile here is a path, so there's something wrong with our column thing. So because it just so happens that when it read the next tile as a path, which would be the one down here, it thinks that's a straight line, right? But we specifically tried to code around that by saying we want to make sure the columns... Did we ever put that in though? We said if column... Yeah, you know what I think? Okay, I think I know what the problem is. I think I know what the problem is. It's because when we notice the column changes, which is here, we say... Wait, why do we say that? That's so weird. It should be this here, right? Cell column plus plus, cell index plus plus. If cell column is 31, then cell row equals 2, cell row equals 3. What we should also be doing is saying we're resetting the valid tiles, right? But we don't have access to valid tiles down here. No, it's not. It's not valid tile. That's why. That's why it's not valid tile. It's path tiles. Path tiles is the one that counts the tiles. That's the one we want. That's the one we want. So we should say here that path tiles equals 0, because obviously if we didn't already find a valid path by the end of the previous row, then we got to start the path tiles count from 0 again. I think that's the issue. Okay. Fucking hell. All right. Yeah, all of those are valid. We didn't get any. We should have got some. So this is an issue. Oh my fucking lord, I can't. Jesus fucking Christ, I cannot continue doing this. I cannot continue doing this. How is it that everything just breaks like this? I just don't get it. We had all of this working, and now it's just like, no, fuck you, everything's broken. I just don't get it. Apparently it found 4 valid paths. 4 valid boosts. Wait, that's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so boosts are not clearing out as we generate a new maze. Okay, that's an issue. What the fuck? Why? There's no fucking way. No, we say maze cells where? Clear. Boosts. Clear. Did we never do this? Seriously? Okay, whatever. Okay, yeah, and it put that where it's supposed to go, right? Which is good. So those are all valid. Yep, those are valid. That one's valid. That's an interesting level. Those are valid. Okay, they're all valid. Every single one of these is valid. Just gonna make sure they still work. We ran straight through a fucking wall. Oh my god, I can't keep doing this. Hang on a minute. Why? Just regenerate a new one. Is it because we started one? It might have been because we started one. Yeah, I think it was, you know, because it was one of those that was here, right? So if I'm putting the arrow one position further ahead, I don't think I calculated the boost distance any differently. But if the boost was 1 ahead, then the boost needs to be 1 shorter, right? That might be why I was confused. So because that's what I originally had it set to, right? But we also need to know whether that. So we need to know whether that tile was placed in a first column block or not. How the fuck am I gonna know that? Oh, fuck my life. Let's have a look. Where do we set the boost distance? Boost distance. What the fuck? It is boost distance, isn't it? Yeah, it's boost distance. Why the fuck isn't that showing up? I know we set the fucking boost distance. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. There's one there. Okay, maybe I made a typo. Okay, this is where we set the boost distance. This is correct for all of them except the first column ones. The first column ones are positioned one position to the right, so we need to make the boost one position shorter. So we need a way to nest this out to say one is boost length and one is boost length minus 1. We have a cell. We have a cell column, right? So I think it should be as easy as this, right? It should be if cell column, it will always be in position 2 because that starts counting from 1, I think. If cell column is 2, then our boost distance is boost length minus 1, else it's boost distance. Okay, I think that's it. Alright. Yeah, no, that's the only reason we ran straight through a wall. Yeah, I think it makes sense because we put the arrow one position more to the right, but we never accounted for that in the boost distance calculation. Okay, yeah, perfect. Perfect. So the only way we can know is to wait until we get one on the first column. There we go, there's one. So now we should stop at that wall. Yes. Okay, yeah, I fixed it. Okay, I think that's it. I think it's done. Let's make sure that the second level works properly as we walk into it. Yeah, fine. Absolutely fine. Perfect. Okay, that's perfect. Perfect. So I do still need to have, like, now I need the chat commands to be able to register players and bring up a window for that player, tally the player's score. I'm going to do like a leaderboard high score system that's telling you what score to beat and all this other shit. And then the chat commands need to actually pass the directions in like a sequence. I am not doing any of that today. Well, maybe I'll do it tonight, but like I'm not doing any of that now. I'm done with this now. That's three hours of that. That's actually nice. Yeah, 3 hours is fine. I think by the time I hit the 3 hour point, I'm like, okay, I need a break. Understandably. Where's that debug log? There it is. We don't need that anymore. I do need to back this up as well. Yeah. I'll, just in case we have any other issues, I'll do that. And I think we can private that. I think we can private that list now. I'm pretty happy that all works. I am pretty happy that all of that works. That one's already private. It's the boosts that we want to set to private. There we go. Whoo! Wow. Hey, that's cool though. I did stars and boosts. I knew the boost would be a pain in the ass, to be fair. But I think they really changed the game a lot, right? Because that sounds weird, but no, they do, right? Because now they give the player a reason to go backwards, which, I mean, the stars kind of do that as well, right? But yeah, when you mix the boosts and the stars, now there's like a reason for the player to go backwards, where there was never a reason for the player to go backwards before, because it made no sense. Why would you ever go backwards if the goal is to reach the end of the level? But now it's like, well, actually, if you care about your score, you can get a much higher score by just maybe moving a couple of positions and picking up a star, or you might want to move backwards to use a boost. So that really did add a whole new dimension to this little mini game, I think. So I'm just going to back this up. That all seems to be working fine. I'm so pleased with that. Just get rid of this one. I'm sure you don't need to see me back it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream here. I'll be back on in like an hour or something. I just want to get some food and breakfast and a cup of tea and shit. And then we can play something. So I'm going to end the stream here. Like I said, I'll be back in like an hour or so.